The FishCare program, brought to you by Legacy, is focused on helping us fishers reduce our impact on the marine environment, on the oceans and the sea life that we love so much. FishCare has 5 principles, and the first principle is to target legal-sized fish. The fewer small fish we catch, the less chance of harm. Undersized fish can be harmed in a number of ways. They may be caught in the gut or the gills, and after being handled, they can be prone to infection even days after being released. Sometimes when you release small fish, predators will hang around the boat. For example, seabirds or barracuda may like to try and pick up any small snapper and juvenile blue cod that you release. So which techniques are more selective with the fish you're trying to target? Well, these days lures like soft baits and slow jigs not only catch fewer undersized fish, but they're also more likely to lip hook the fish instead of hooking it in the gills and the gut. So soft baits and slow jigs are a good choice. And if you're using stick baits or surface lures, please think about using single hooks instead of trebles because they do much less damage to the fish. And when you're bait fishing, using larger hooks with larger baits will help you avoid catching undersized fish. Use non-offset circle hooks for bait fishing whenever possible. Circle hooks lip hook fish more often than J hooks and give undersized fish a better chance of survival when released and handled with care. A study in the Hauraki Gulf found the survival rate of lip hook snapper was 90 to 95% when caught in depths of 14 to 20 metres of water. If you are using J hooks, try 7-bar O or larger. The smaller J hooks are not only more likely to catch undersized fish, but they're also more likely to gut hook fish.
Alright, so what we have here is an 8-bar O non-offset heavy gauge circle hook. Now I always use these when I'm fishing for kingfish. It allows the fish not to get hooked in the gut and hooked in the corner of the mouth nearly every single time. So it allows you to release those fish if you want to, and obviously if they're undersized as well, and it keeps them in prime condition. About 1.5 meters of either 80 to sort of 120 pound leader onto a swivel with the sinker above it. Now that allows the bait to swim freely, but it also means that if you get busted off, that kingfish isn't going to be dragging around a sinker.
Now, if you haven't tried them, the FishCare program recommends using the target appendage hooks because they're practically impossible for small fish to swallow. And they're also great for long lining or when you're using your rod and reel. So when you're bait fishing, fish actively. Hold your rod and reel, keep in touch with your bait, ready to set the hook once you get the bite. This way, smaller fish are less likely to swallow the hook. Now, if you're using circle hooks, set the hook slowly by smoothly lifting the rod as the fish runs away. If you're fishing with sinkers, think about using a rig where the sinker will slide off if the fish busts you off. So if you are fishing with a ledger rig, use heavier line so that it's less likely that the fish will bust you off. Avoid using stainless steel hooks because they take so long to rust out. If a fish escapes with a stainless steel hook in its mouth, it's not going to be able to feed and function properly. So if you're finding that you are catching lots of undersized fish, think about moving location or increasing your hook size or your lure size so that you're targeting legal sized fish. When you're choosing your tackle, think about the fight time. The shorter the fight time, the more likely it is the fish will survive when released. So when choosing your outfit, think about bringing the fish in relatively quickly. As Kiwis, we are so lucky to have this beautiful marine environment right on our doorsteps. And if we all play our part and all care, then our kids and our grandkids will thank us.
Legacy wants to thank the following people for their help in producing this video and their ongoing support of Legacy.